Hello YouTubers and all those who happen to watch. Let's unbox something magical here. A game of Exile for the TurboGrafxCD. Now of course this game was made exclusively for the Sega Genesis as well as the TurboGrafxCD. The CD version of it, obviously some people are considered the most superior version of the two. Of course that isn't really fair if you're trying to compare sides, because one has a compact disc versus one that has a ROM card. I mean, come on, that isn't really right. I mean, but people can argue against, the Turbo N64 and the Jaguar. They pulled out 3D graphics and great cutting edge. See, at the time though, you gotta understand what they were working with the Sega Genesis. I mean, both ports are just as good as one another. I mean, doesn't really matter. But okay, nonetheless, people going, he just went off into a rant and rave. Well, no, that's something subject matter related. But, alright, I got the CD version here, though. And, again, now, we look at the box art. It looks kinda too localized for my standards so far. You got the simple font, the elegant font on the side here. You got the elegant font on this side here. The top of it is blank. You got the bottom here, which is actually not blank. It has the elegant font as well as the TurboGrafxCD at the bottom here. Now, the reason why I want to show off this box is because I just want to show people what the boxes as well as how these games used to come about. I mean, some people just see the discs or any of these discs, these cases, just solely independently without the box to them, and I thought it'd be interesting to show off the box too. So, alright, this game was, of course, made by Working Designs, and it's also certified or authorized by the TurboGrafx-16 seal of approval. Sort of a piss take, I guess, at Nintendo. Whatever. So, okay. As you can see, a really minty fresh copy. Looks like it's been barely played. So, okay. So now you can see right here, it's identical box art to the front here, which I'll show you the back of this case as well before I show you the disc. And you'll see right here, it has some really nice art. It shows off a lot of nice cutscenes in there. It shows some of the bosses, shows like some scenes. It shows what you do most of the time in town. I mean, this game mixed a lot of elements together, by the way. But again, the box art, it's kind of bland. At the same time, for 1991, which is, of course, exactly which this is dated. Yep, 1991, confirming it. This is pretty much when this game came out, so again, you can't expect magnificent artwork. I mean, it looks good, it looks alright, but it isn't it wasn't very appealing looking at first. That's probably why this game went to $10 on eBay for a while, until people realized how good it was. Then they hoarded it up, then they inflated the price to it to a gigantic amount, to heaven knows how much. I mean, I got this really cheap, so I can't be like, oh, I paid all this money. I didn't really pay anything that much at all for this. I paid like not even that much at all. I was really lucky when I found it. A friend of mine, Superdine88, pointed out to me, and that's where I obtained it. So, all right, as you can see by the front case here, it shows some sands or dune background. It shows the title font, Exile. Shows Working Designs. Shows a seal of approval again. And on the back, it shows the kind of mellow and melodramatic front box art in its full glory. And it shows the, elegant font and, yeah. Not really very, I mean, looks can be deceiving with this game. Some people might look at this game and just be like, okay. Looks like a really bland action RPG case. What's your point here? I see, that's a sad thing about this game, too, at first. It was not really well received. I mean, it's such a fantastic title. And I'm looking at the case, make sure I can acknowledge it. It shows, some of the art on this is actually pretty cool, like simplistic, but it's kind of cool at the same time. I mean, isn't the best. I mean, again, they could have done a lot more with this localization to the States. Like, they could have done so much more with the artwork, but, again, I can understand 1991, they weren't thinking of how sex sells with this, in this case, or the appeal sells when it comes to a box art. I mean, for some people that might look like BA to them, but it's, if you look at it from a bland perspective, it's just really kind of a bland box art. I mean, people going, oh, you're talking about that 500 times to get the point. I know. However, though, I'm just looking at all of this, and it's just, it looks so bland, but when you play the game, it's really great. You know? So it shows Kadash, which I'm assuming this is the TurboGrafx. Yep. This is the TurboGrafx version of that. As well as Parasol Stars, which is Bubble Bobble 3. And it's a story of Bubble Bobble 3, my bad. So again, it shows the box art, again, is not anything to be, you know, writing home about. The artwork inside this book is kind of decent. It's black and white, not amazing. As you can see right here too, most of the box art, I mean not the box art, the artwork rather, I don't keep on saying box art, it's sort of a generic thing coming out of me now. Anyway, you can see right here, you got the Saddler character, which is the main protagonist. You got his little buddies, which you can all play as periodically as you develop in the game. I mean, it shows off the controls, the action RP, and the strategy aspect to it, which is interesting in its respects. That this game had 3 different game modes blended together, which I thought that's quite interesting if you could put a comparison to games that have recently blended a lot of elements together. Another game you can compare to is games like this. You know, Kingdom Hearts Recoded. They've done a lot with games over the years, obviously. There's a lot of time for creative process, even though most games nowadays get kind of bland with the whole FPS crap. But you'll see games every once in a while throw something out like this, like how Exile kind of did it with the the strategy, the action, and the RPG elements all blended in together. I mean, games like, you know, The Legend of Zelda Link's Adventure, not a lot of people really received that game too well. I mean, or gave it the pat on the back, because if you look at it, it was sort of ahead of its time. I mean, there's other games for the NES, the Sega Master System, and all these other games that were ahead of their time for creative ideas. They weren't that much well received at first, but nonetheless, I thought it was an interesting thing to see games like this be developed. And again, I'm looking at all this stuff. I mean, again, it just looks like it's just like a typical 1991 style box art. I mean, it's not much catching to the eye versus the Japanese ports, of course, because they had more time to obviously work on those. But I mean, other than that, I mean, a full color manual, you know, label and all that. I mean, other than that, it just, you kind of look at all this and go, okay. But trust me, guys, the game is fantastic. It's one of my faves for the TurboGrafxCD, and I found it really cheap, so it's pretty cool. And of course, this gets stored in here. Some people probably threw this away, and which the test of time shows that some people kicked themselves in the shin after for doing that. It also came with its foam insert. Overall, would I recommend buying this game complete? I wouldn't say so much so. I mean, just as long as you get yourself a copy of it, if you can. I wouldn't try to find it complete, though, because you'd probably play an arm and a leg for this. Probably, there we go. Pay an arm and a leg for this. And, you know, I would say just try to get it if you can find it like this. If you can find the box art, too, like cheap, go for that, too. Why not? But overall, I think the box art is bland, but the game's fantastic. Take it easy, folks, and thank you guys so much for watching.